can't hold me, bite. I'm one of them ones, baby. Baby, can you hear me? Baby, can you hear me? Actual factuals. 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 Baby, can you hear me? Yo, fully. Yo, yo, fully man. Fully man. Yo, fully man. Can you hear me? Yo, Fully. Yo, Fully is Irvin.
Guys, I personally have not been playing Apex as much as I used to. In fact, a while back I made a video exploring where ex-Apex players went. But honestly, looking at the game with concurrent player counts peaking over 150k a day, I don't think it's doing half bad. So today I want to do the opposite of the last video and hop in and ask the players that I do meet, why are they still here? Now, 6.5 years in, I had some assumptions on why people still logged into this battle royale, but I'll admit some of them surprised me. Take this guy for example.
I don't know what you're recommending. What's up, dude?
Hey man,
I watch your videos all the time.
you guys still play Apex a lot?
I'm super casual. Once, twice a week, but I'm like the only one of my friends that plays, so I play by myself a lot.
You still chasing him, Chris?
Oh,
I got him. I'm not
much.
watching.
But you still got it.
What makes you keep coming back to Apex?
I don't know, man. Maybe like a little bit of like sunken cause fallacy. Like I got a lot of like cosmetics in this game. I'm just start of it, you know. Not to like demonish the game at all. It's the best movement game, you know. Even though I'm not like a movement player, it's still my favorite shooter.
What do you typically watch? Like streams or videos? Or...
Like YouTube. Like turn on my TV at night and just watch it, you know. I think for anybody that watches this kind of videos, like it's kind of like therapy, or at least for me it is.
Yeah. Relax.
And then I dream about it. Then I come on here and actually play and stuff follows.
This guy was actually super wholesome, and even though he described himself as a casual Apex player, he still had a lot of love for the game just because of how good it feels to move around, which is something I actually hear quite a bit. He also mentioned sunk cost fallacy, which I found interesting. I feel like that's definitely something unique to live service games, as they sort of get you more financially invested. Anyways, while he was referring to the cosmetic side of things, I also think since Apex has such a high skill ceiling, people who get more hardcore into it maybe are more inclined to stay, since they've already done so much time into mastering the aspects of the gameplay. For this game, we ended up managing to position ourselves pretty favorably against the last two teams. I knew one team was holed up behind that truck, and luckily for me, by now I had my gas grenade ready to go, and, well, a few ticks of gas later, and I was able to get the pick here. Chucking a bunch of gas barrels out. That's all good. After they were cleared out, we got this nice little pinch on this last
Say,
team,
man.
and we're able to finish them off for the win. Nice. I wasn't finished with my experiment just yet. You see, I was expecting to only find die-hard players who main Apex, but I was actually finding a lot more casual Apex players, at least in gold, like that last guy, who just enjoyed Apex's core mechanics, but still hopped in here and there. Take this next person, for example.
Yeah, hello, you got mics?
Yo.
Yeah, let's play super aggressive.
Okay.
Just grab a gun and we're just gonna start hauling it as soon as we land.
You're kind of scaring me. Okay, I just have a PK.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll see you over there.
Now, this guy's playstyle was hyper aggressive, and honestly, I was expecting to pretty much full send it on a team, and, well, for it to end pretty poorly. However, as we made our way to the runoff, he was able to get this nice pick on one of the enemies here with our random downing a second.
You like that, Ben? See, this is your strat I'm coming up with. It's called just get a gun and go.
Okay. Get a gun and go.
Just get a gun and go.
Like gag?
Never
Get
fails.
G-A-G.
I love making them gag.
I'll put down another, fallback.
Are you able to put it wherever, or do you have to, like, aim it?
Are you fooling?
I want to play that person, but I haven't tried it out yet.
Wait, have you not played a lot of Apex?
No, not really.
I'll be right back, man. Dim yeah.
But I've never even played with her.
I broke him? Nice. Nuts. What makes you want to come play Apex?
This game's got good movement. Maybe we should play like Valorant.
Valorant's so different though. It's like a pretty slow tactical shooter, right?
I don't play it slow.
Okay. Honestly though, I feel like FPS games have really slowed down. Not slowed down in terms of gameplay, but like in terms of like release. Like there hasn't good ones.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think they just realized that it's better for them to make a game that they can microtransactions out of and keep people there for a long time than it is to make a good game often.
When did you start playing Apex?
I started with it, but I'll get on and off for like a month at a time.
Now, despite me being more of someone who doesn't particularly enjoy full sending it on teams, I went along with the gag strat, and we ended up playing the rest of this game pretty aggressively. And it actually worked out pretty well. We did have to slow down a bit by the time it got to late game, mostly playing defensively around this house in front of bunker. We're good.
Oh, I suck already.
Oh, I should have let you have it. My bad, dude. By the time it was the last 3 squads, I had us take a position on this hill, and like the last game, we were able to look over the last couple of teams from a pretty safe position and secure the win. Nice, dude.
We hit him with the gag, man.
Also, one trend I was seeing, though, was that everyone I talked to started playing Apex pretty early on. I'm not including reading every conversation I had in this video, but I actually didn't find anyone who just started playing recently. It might have been the rank I was in, which is gold, and maybe I would have run into more first-timers in pubs, but I found it pretty interesting that most everyone started playing in the early days of Apex. Like, take this guy for example, who even recognized one of my badges.
Got the 888 badge? I've been back forever.
Yeah, some of the good old days. Did you play back then?
You should make it. I put too much time in this game.
So, despite the mostly on-off, more casual Apex players that I've been talking to, this guy was actually a more hardcore Apex player who, even after 6 years of this game's lifetime, he is still very much into the game. And he wasn't the only one. Skipping a little ahead here, the map swapped over to Olympus, and I ended up running into this person. No! You've been playing a lot of Apex?
A lot. Really? Like my main game. I'm very off and on, but I've been playing forever. Got one spotted. Don't look.
You've been playing since day one?
Not day one, season two. But I was probably one of the first people to grab the sticks out of my whole friend group. And I had people playing a little before. I played in season one, but I didn't care about it at that point. Caught the battle pack like 6 times.
That's not that bad. I spent more. I spent a lot more.
Can I ask? Your voice sounds very familiar. Are you the guy that I think you are?
Oh, yes. Thanks.
Oh my god, bro, the pleasure of you playing this.
Dude, the
I
honor's
watch your
mine,
videos all
man.
the time.
Thanks, man. This guy was also super wholesome, and honestly, most everyone I spoke to during my little experiment was really, really friendly.
Hey, I'm at all my homies. I play with King.
Dude, nice. It was on honor playing, dude. But it wasn't every game that I had people wanting to share their experience. You guys play a lot of Apex Legends? They're not in the answering mood. Oh, well, since no one's talking to me, I figured I should ask chat. Does anyone still play Apex anymore in chat, or is everyone watching me like ex-Apex players? Okay, so quite a few people say rarely or haven't played in a few months, but I've got a couple of people who say they're still playing. Only the people who play regularly. Not the people who say, oh, I play every few months, but the people who play regularly. Why do you keep playing regularly? What? Nacho Tyler says wild card. Really? Wow, you guys, Nacho, you just love the game. You just love the game. But you've been playing for a while, right? I still play because, hold on, see, Nacho Chippy says, I still play because I have friends that do. If they wouldn't, I wouldn't either. Aqua says, when I do play, it'll be due to friends. Interesting. Speed Noodle says, me and my partner play it together. It's always been our thing. I think we're still trying to chase that fun feeling, but it's lacking. Playing since October of 2019. I think Apex is a very social game. I think solos in pubs might be a little bit miserable. And solo in high ranked might also be pretty miserable. God, I'm sad people are leaving the game. Yes, there are tons of people who have left the game, but looking at the player numbers on Steam, I think it's doing alright. Wow, I'm a bot. It has 170k players playing it right now, which is pretty dang impressive for a first-person shooter game when a lot of other first-person shooter games haven't done well or have died. So Grace's motivation for playing daily is FOMO. Hold on, I didn't read Grace's thing. I mean, mainly because I have a battle pass to finish and hit level 100. I play solo and with friends. Wow, I think that's the first time anyone's ever mentioned they want to complete the battle pass, which is why they keep playing. That's interesting, because the reason I stopped playing Apex because of the battle pass change. It was the one thing keeping me playing daily. It changed to 2 segments per season, and I was out. Have not returned. Now, if you're wondering about my opinions or where I've been, well, I've personally been taking a lot of time away from making content for Apex, and instead,
So they knew how to market, and they were now on Halo 3's roster. The best in the industry were working together to sell the most anticipated game of the decade. So they wanted this cultural event to coincide with another. Something as American as apple pie and extortion. While everything about Halo 3 was going to be bigger, from its budget to its very themes, you would think the general public's first look would have been grandiose and maximalist. Something so insane I'm literally gonna die. But our earliest look was quiet, an intimate moment, a brief respite from the chaos soon to come. A quiet made a bold move. During a commercial break on Monday Night Football, the aptly named Starry Night ad aired for the first time to 7 million people, with later re-uploads on YouTube further boosting those numbers. This was not some teaser shown at a video game conference. This was one of the biggest broadcasts in the United States, and there was Halo. It seems benign today to see a video game commercial during a football game, but in 2006, gaming as a whole was still breaking into mainstream culture. So to see a full-length ad with actual lore drops from a game with this during primetime television, this was insane. It was such a major event for the time that people were tuning into the game just to watch the Halo commercial. The Panthers were playing, so I don't blame them. And the reception was stellar. Football fans praised the commercial for its accurate portrayal of getting a concussion. And gamers loved it because Halo. Microsoft had to follow this up, and they would do so by asking a simple question. What if Halo was real? Live action Halo, Steve. It's 2007. A video is stealth dropped on the Bungie.net forums. It's called Arms Race, and oh my god, it was showing Halo in real life. Predating Paramount's Master Chiefs by over a decade, it didn't tell us much about the story of Halo 3, or anything really. This was eye candy, but tasty eye candy. Have it a little more! Another short. This one is just called Combat, the title being a subtle hidden Easter egg reference to the Halo franchise, where there is combat. But for the very first time we see, in real life, actual combat from the Halo universe. When you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty? Blinded? Paralyzed? Dumbstruck? One last short film, which debuted on the Discovery Channel's website of all places. Last One Standing was its name. And it's in the final installment of these videos that we see Microsoft truly flex their budgets. These short films cost thousands of dollars to create the sets, make original costumes, hire stuntmen and VFX artists, actors, and stunt coordinators. I mean, do you even know how hard it is to find a classically trained brute actor on such short notice? Or a banshee that's up to OSHA and union standards? Yeah, didn't think so. They made an actual functioning warthog. They had Neil Blomkamp, the same guy that directed all of these movies, direct this. So much money went into this that some of the costumes honestly look closer to the games than the Paramount TV show, because these videos served a dual purpose of both marketing and as test footage. In pursuing their goal of beating a Hollywood film, ironically, the marketing team ended up making one themselves, as these shorts were used to visualize a potential Halo movie, with a prime Lord of the Rings era Peter Jackson rumored to direct. Holy crap. And all of this money and time was for roughly 6 minutes of content, most of which premiered on the Cash Cab channel's website. But sometimes it's worth paying the price. For Halo fans, this is what it felt like to play Halo, even though it looked like this. The team behind this were able to truly capture the Halo experience in just a few minutes. While it was grand in scale, all these shorts were essentially fan service, because if there's one thing that truly made Halo special, it was the community. And the community would be greatly rewarded for their loyalty, as the next piece was in play.
HBO and all those guys that are really rabid fans, so we're trying to hook up the people that are really close to us in terms of the fan community as well, and get them in and let them play the game.
Part of what made Bungie a cut above the rest was their commitment to the community. They knew that without their community, there would be no Bungie, and without Bungie, there would be no community. So the more that Bungie and the fans engaged with each other, the more this became a positive feedback loop. Halo 3 will certainly reach mass appeal, as you'll soon see, but all the while, the hardcore fans were never left behind. The marketing approach for the Halo fans was not, how can we sell you this game? It was, how can we make you part of the game? So much of the marketing thus far was shrouded in mystery. Who is in Starry Night? Did this brute actor actually go to Juilliard? Why is Cortana glitching out? Is she safe? Is she alright? All of it was just begging me to peel back the layers and dig a little deeper. Hold up. The Starry Night ad. Slow down. Freeze. Zoom. Enhance. Nullify. Triangulate. Unblur. Jesus Christ at Halo3.com. Fans flooded to Halo3.com. Turns out, if you signed up quick enough, you could receive an email from Bungie themselves containing the Holy Scripture. Welcome, my son or daughter, to the Halo 3 multiplayer beta. With a subscription of Xbox Live Gold, of course, we're here. Months before the game was even out, regular Halo fans could get an exclusive exclusive sneak peek at Halo 3's multiplayer, not just the gaming influencers.
Mountain Dew, you buy Doritos.
Thousands of open slots were filled in a matter of hours, leaving those too slow to click in the dust.
Damn it!
Fear not, though. Microsoft had other plans for you. If you cracked open a copy of Crackdown, you could get yourself a code to the beta and free access to all the no-scoping your heart desires. These codes were so coveted that many bought an entirely new game just for the code. Halo 3 was becoming such a major commercial event that even the smallest pieces of content were used to sell other games. And it worked. Bungie and Microsoft knew that having an open beta would be a good call, as according to one Microsoft vice president, the Halo community has an insatiable desire for more Halo. And goddamn, he was right. What was originally intended as a stress test for the Xbox Live servers became a stress fracture. In just 1 month, over 800,000 people logged on to play the beta. The servers were swamped. People would enter their codes and queue for hours because there was simply no room.
Yo, mother, server is down. Get that shit back up. We're trying to play. Fix it. Build games.
But Bungie extended the beta for a little longer, so everyone could get their games in. After a glorious month, June 10th at 11:59 p.m., the beta was closed. Thank you for participating. Please enjoy. The fans have been feasting on Halo 3 content for a solid month, but Bungie wasn't done cooking. Bungie would post weekly updates about the game on Bungie.net for all your latest Halo 3 news. Oh, you're illiterate? Alright, little concerning, but fear not, because Bungie began uploading small video documentaries on the development of Halo 3 as it was being made, explaining every minute detail of the game, with Latin puns to boot. For those loyal fans, Bungie made them feel like they were part of the game-making process every step of the way, like you were there, helping them to finish the fight. Until someone stumbled upon this mysterious post on the Bungie.net forums. What is this? What? Bungie and Microsoft still had a few $1 million floating around, so the Halo 3 marketing team looked at their options and said, since they had done a similar tactic for Halo 2's marketing to incredible success, why not do it again? They called it Project Iris, and it started with Bungie posting on their forums, role-playing as a rogue AI. Before it was known, this AI claimed it hacked into Bungie's servers and began to answer fans' questions. When asked what year it was, it responded with this, which of course opened a whole can of worms. With the calendar, what does it mean? The AI would also frequently post this cryptic image, a symbol from the ancient Halo species, the Forerunners. Long story short, and lots of schizo posting later, this eventually led Bungie and Microsoft to hire a group of activists to campaign in the middle of Times Square for a completely made-up cult called the Society of Mutants, or this fake cult claimed to have seen the Forerunner symbols in real life, praising the glory of the Forerunners, a made-up species. We're now reaching levels of marketing that are beyond science. Like true conspiracy nut jobs, their ensemble was completely picket signs with flyers, selling this act so well that I'm sure in 2007 some people walking by actually thought they were crazy. But today we just call it podcasting. With more and more details coming out, it only generated more positive buzz for Halo 3. Every detail led to rampant speculation about what this would say about Halo 3. Are these guys in on Halo 3? Is Soda part of Halo 3's marketing? Is this crazy homeless man pissing on the sidewalk actually a Halo 3 ARG reference? Much to the marketing team's delight, notice the one through line of all these stories. Halo 3 is getting its name out there. Eventually the ARG edited the AI version to count down to Halo 3's launch. And if it's any indication just how much Microsoft and Bungie invested into this, there's a video by Rocket Slot breaking down every single detail of Iris. It's over half an hour. This may sound like a shock, but the general masses did not closely follow a forum-based conspiracy ultimate reality game. Iris was a move solely for the most dedicated Halo lore lovers. Now we need a regular consumer to buy in. It was finally time for Microsoft to go balls to the wall and plaster Master Chief in every facet of your life. No one would escape his gaze. Until this game was released, the world was going to quite literally eat, sleep, breathe Halo 3. Fuck the chessboard. Microsoft threw a hungry to buzz and said,
What?
Taking days off and all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Bitch asked me because you take Mother's Day off the other
One of
day.
the
I asked her
product
for what?
managers for Halo
You
3's
know what I'm
marketing
saying?
team
Yeah, she got a
stated that
baby.
Halo 3
But she
wasn't
got a
about
pimp to
video
pay too,
games.
though.
The franchise
Taking
had
days
become
off and
part of
all that
pop
kind of shit, you
culture.
know what I'm
To
saying?
become part of popular
Bitch asked
culture,
me
you
because you
must
take
first
Mother's Day
become
off the
popular
other
with
day.
the
I asked her
people.
for what?
You need to have
You
such
know what I'm
brand
saying?
awareness
Yeah, she got
that
a baby.
David's first words
But she
should
got
be,
a pimp
I
to pay
need
too,
way.
though.
So Microsoft
Keep
started scoring tons
money
of
in.
brand
I'll
deals
get
from MSOs. The product tie-ins are coming.
taking days off and all that kind of shit,
Since
you know
Halo
what
and
I'm saying?
Master Chief have
Bitch
become
asked
the
me because
face
you
of
take Mother's
Xbox,
Day off the
you
other day.
gotta
I
have
asked
a
her for
Halo
what?
3 Special
You know what
Edition
I'm saying?
Xbox
Yeah, she got a
360
baby.
with
But she
exclusive
got a
Halo
pimp to
3
pay too,
Xbox
though.
360
Keep the
dashboard
money
view.
in.
How about instead of just
Getting
buying a copy of
taking
Halo
days
3, you try the Halo 3
off and
limited
all that
edition,
kind of shit, you
or
know what
better
I'm
yet,
saying?
buy the
Bitch asked me because
Legendary
you take
Edition for
Mother's Day off the other
$120
day. I asked her for
and
what?
receive an
You know what
actual
I'm saying?
Master Chief helmet. It's so cool and legendary. The holy grail for any Halo fan. You think I'm being dramatic? Look at this picture and tell me this isn't a religion, and this isn't our holy grail. Only you can't wear it because the bottom of it looks like this.
No, go ahead. Try to put your head in there. He can't put his head in there.
Still have mine that I've been borrowing from my older brother for the past decade. I'm recording this line on my Halo 3 wireless headset, only $59.99. Might I recommend pairing your console with a Halo 3 Special Edition controller, which of course comes with its own Halo action figure. Speaking of toys, we got Master Chief toys, Brute toys, Armored action figures with over 20 points of articulation. Master Chief action figure if you got bonked on the head. That's a nice tabletop board
Keep the
game you
money
got
in.
there. Be ashamed if it didn't have a Halo
Taking
3
days off and
minifig
all that
tie-in.
kind of shit, you know
Also
what I'm
still have
saying?
one of these. Oh,
Bitch asked me
sorry, you
because you
wanted
take
an
Mother's Day off
original
the
Halo board game. Here you go. Oh, sorry, you said trading cards? My bad. Put them in your proprietary Halo 3 big-ass box. Box. Wait! Before you start your Halo 3 Special Edition Xbox with Special Edition Halo 3 controller, don't forget to activate your Xbox Live Gold card with your Halo 3 Xbox Live card. Okay, hold on. Before you check out at GameStop, might I interest you in some Halo 3? Better purchase your copy using a Halo 3 gift card, only available at Virgin Megastores. I don't even have to write a joke about that one. A Kmart ad for a new TV. Might as well give this a look. Ooh, what's Best Buy up to? Halo. There would be banners for Halo 3 hung up everywhere. You go to Target, Halo 3 aisle. You go to the grocery store, Halo 3 ad. My favorite is this banner. That sounds more like a veiled threat than a marketing tactic. Actually, you know what? While you're out at the grocery store, can you pick me up something to drink? I'm thinking Halo 3 Mountain Dew, or Game Fuel as it was called. No, not the cans. I still have an unopened one right here. No, not the 2-liter. I want an exclusive aluminum bottle of Game Fuel, available at select retailers.
2 sealed Halo 3 Mountain Dews. At this point, the original core? Yeah. Is it a vinyl deal?
Make sure to store that Game Fuel in the Master Chief Game Fuel fridge. I won't actually tell you what ungodly ingredients are in Game Fuel. All I'll say is, better pack your Halo 3 insulin. Since Burger King is no stranger to finishing the fight, there was an entire Halo 3 Burger King meal, complete with Forerunner fries. Better yet, if you purchase the full meal, you can access exclusive screenshots of Halo 3 from the Burger King website. That's just insane. I mean, could you imagine getting your oil changed and the mechanic goes, "Hey, thanks for your patronage. Here's some leaked GTA 6 footage." How about some more food? Be sure to grab yourself a nice yummy bag of Halo 3 Doritos. This guy was not kidding. Head down to 7-Eleven and wash down the Halo 3 Doritos with a nice Halo 3 Slurpee in a limited edition Halo 3 Slurpee cup, which I also still have. Ladies, please, one at a time. You can even pre-order a copy of Halo 3 at 7-Eleven. Slurpee also held a competition where one winner who purchased the Halo 3 Slurpee could win a voice acting role in the upcoming Halo Wars spin-off. Supposedly they let the winner voice a Pelican pilot, but I like to imagine their first recording session with a Slurpee contest winner probably went like this.
The prophets have betrayed us.
You're just mad because I'll be able to do something with my fucking guitar in hands that you'll never be able to achieve in your entire life, kid. So yeah.
You know, I really enjoy the Halo soundtracks. Why don't I buy the Halo 3 Zune that comes preloaded with the Halo soundtracks and a Zune exclusive episode of Red vs. Blue? Did you get your leg blown off in Afghanistan? Dang, that's crazy, bro. Can I offer you a military-themed Halo 3 Zune in this trying time? All military members get a discount. Oh, and thank you for your service. Let's talk swag. Halo 3 shirts. We got this one, and this one. Found your sweetheart and ready to pop the question? Might I recommend suiting up in a Halo 3 blazer? Available to select employees that sold the most Halo 3 pre-orders. Halo 3 head wrap. Halo hoodie. Take Chief on the go with the Halo 3 bag. Also comes in hiding the body size. Decorate your home with a giant rug of the Halo 3 disc. Okay, that one's from Etsy, but is it really as crazy as the Halo 3 car? That's right. Microsoft teamed up with Pontiac and Best Buy to give one lucky winner a fully kitted out Pontiac G6 with Halo 3 decals, premium St. leather seats, dual monitor setup. Finishing the fight has never felt so luxurious. If you ignore the fact they used the Master Chief Ranger from Halo 2 instead of Halo 3, but they fixed it later though. There was also the Halo 3 Hummer, which makes me really want to merge without looking. But you're in your junkie era, so you want speed. Feast your eyes on the official Halo 3 race car. You better hope it doesn't get lapped by the Wii car. That's not a joke, that's real by the way. The Chief car did finish the fight though, in 39th place. You just couldn't escape Master Chief. He was everywhere. Primetime television show, Chuck, Season 2, Episode 14, Holy Halo. Master Chief's on every screen? Then why don't you do some reading? Halo 3 girls. Please don't marry them. I'm still ironing my blazer, I beg you. They gave Master Chief his own wax figure at Madame Tussauds, which was debuted by Fallout Boy. I tried so hard to play Halo 3, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Because Halo 3 was an official sponsor of the Linkin Park Project Revolution tour, where during their tour they would set up booths where fans could get a sneak peek at Halo 3. Microsoft, you've given us Halo 3 fries, Slurpees, and sodas. How did you know it's what us gamers need? Oh, I know what the gamers like. At this point, we were all in it together, said Zac Efron. Ludacris was here. Again, Bill Gates himself meticulously tested Halo 3's performance. Thoroughly. London's Waterloo IMAX Theater was given a Halo 3 makeover for an early access multiplayer tournament, attended by the likes of LL Cool J, Carmen Electra, and Pharrell Williams.
Did you know that
who
there
was
was
very unhappy to be here. Apparently Pharrell, Carmen, and LL even played a game of Team Deathmatch, during which Pharrell pulled the classic guy who always says it's the controller's fault and requested to pause the match mid-game to change his controls. At least Chief got to walk the red carpet.
And you told me you were gonna wear something nice.
In New Zealand, they put copies of Halo 3 in a giant ice block where fans could chip away at it to get their copies. Is this a 4,000 IQ reference to Halo 3's ending? Or the stupidest thing you've ever seen? I'll let you decide. Halo 3 had so much clout that they got Nolan North, Firefly era Adam Baldwin, and Nathan Fillion to voice the eponymous Halo character, Marine Number 3. There were giveaways and giveaways and giveaways. Halo 3's on TV? Let's give it a watch.
We're giving away collectors.
If you
It's
see this
good
4th
to
century
be
mosaic of
back.
Byzantine Emperor
Today,
Justinian
I just
I,
wanted
well,
to
Microsoft actually made a functional
my
time
toes
machine
back
to
in
tell
the
the
water.
artist to put a
Get the ball
Halo
rolling,
in.
get this channel going again.
Regular people were now
So I
very
wanted
much
to just
aware of this
tackle
thing,
a
because I'll never
topic
forget as a little kid on our
that
family TV night, seeing
is
a
very
Halo 3
close to
commercial,
home,
and my mom says,
and
"Oh,
that is
you got that
life
Master Chief guy?"
as a
She
single
did call
man
him Xbox
past
for the
the
green hair,
average
but
age
Master
of
Chief.
marriage.
All of this insane
So
marketing,
I'm
the
29
sheer
years old.
ubiquity
I'm
of Halo 3's
rapidly
promotional
approaching
material
30.
was
Just a
working.
few months
Halo 3
left.
quickly became the fastest
And
selling
I'm getting to
pre-order
that
of
age
its time.
where
People
everyone's
who had
like,
never even owned
you
an
know, the big
Xbox were
3-0.
considering buying one to play
Gotta
Halo
get
3.
everything in
Major
order.
retailers like
Gotta
Best
think
Buy
about
and
the rest
GameStop
of your
pledged
life.
to
You
stay
got
open
to
past midnight
have
when the
everything
game's
mapped
released.
out.
Very
You
much
gotta
encouraging
be
people to stay that late
on the
just to buy
path
it.
to
And they made it very
that
clear
picket
which games
fence
you could get at their
with the
stores.
dog and the
Big
2.5
family
kids
games.
and the
Microsoft
wife,
even published a list of
all
which
that
stores would
jazz,
stay
or
open
else,
after midnight for Halo
you know,
3's release.
it's like,
There was
They
so
be
much
hating on me,
that
baby.
some
They be
fans
counting
were
papers.
to
marketing that they
a
said
life of
finish the
misery
fight.
and oblivion
More like
and
buys
just
the
a
Halos.
forgotten footnote
But
in
this saying
history.
was all in good fun, because
Sort
the
of like
reality
the
was,
threat
for all the
people kind of toss at
grandiosity,
you.
at
You
its
don't have
core,
everything in order by
people
30.
just really wanted to play
So
the
I'm
game.
at that
And
age,
for the last stretch, just
and some of my family has expressed their concern to me.
back in the water.
I
Get
was
the
on a
ball rolling,
vacation
get this channel
a
going
couple
again.
months ago. I hadn't seen my dad in a while.
And some of my family has expressed their concern to me. I was on a vacation a couple months ago. I hadn't seen my dad in a while. My dad lives across the country. I hadn't seen him in a while. And we're on vacation, bunch of family, very nice time. And randomly, on the first night, out of nowhere, we were walking to a restaurant. Me, my dad, some aunts, uncles, cousins. My dad pulls me aside.
I ain't got no bitches.
And, you know, we're behind everybody so no one can hear. And he says, "Son, I'm genuinely concerned for you. I think you really need to start considering marriage,
And the bitches.
long-term relationship, dating, all that stuff. Just giving me the spiel. Keep in mind, my parents literally got divorced like after 6 or 7 years of marriage. Literally fought all the time. Absolutely horrible poster child for marriage. But my dad said, you gotta settle down. He did eventually remarry. I mean, it's another story for another time. But my dad pulls me aside and says this. I'm in a great mood. I'm rarely in a great mood, and I'm having a good time, and he just totally ruins it. Like, ruins the mood, throws me off. I gave him the whole, I'll get to it when I get to it. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. Kind of indifferent, and I was honest with him. And then about a week ago, I had dinner with my grandmother. She's mid 80s, and she married when she was 20 years old. My grandfather, and they stayed married until he passed away a couple years ago from lung cancer. And my grandma says to me, "You do not want to be alone in old age. This life is not made to live alone. Do not do it. Do not end up alone. You need to find someone. You need to pair up." Sort of in a threatening tone.
Damn, Grammy. Chill, Grammy.
Warning. And I get it comes from sincerity and it comes from a kind place. But my grandma's saying this to me, and it just all it does is make me feel awful about myself, and it makes me worried. It makes me concerned. I know she grew up in a different era. It's like a different world at this point. The one she grew up in, or one she even knows about. But as a single man, past a certain age, and I'm sure women get it too, but I don't think they get it as bad. I think these days, being single woman in your early 30s to late 30s, even beyond, sure you get some people on the internet that'll make fun of you, but I think the support system and the stigma against it, when you're out in public talking to people, is far, far less of a burden than the one men get. And when you're a woman, women will tell you it's okay to be single. It's okay. You have your friends, you got your activities, you got this. It's great that you're single. It's great that you won't settle. It's awesome. You don't want to be with some man child or some guy holding you back. Women will have your back. Men, half of men are simps. That's being gracious. The other half of men tell women the truth. Like, you probably had the opportunity to be with people, you won't settle, you think you deserve more, you're a 5, you want a 9. So, you have 75% of your constituents as a woman pretty much validating you and confirming your lifestyle. When you're my age and older, you have men saying, "You're coping, bro. You're coping. You're not really okay. You're not really enjoying your life. You're coping, dude. You're cope. End of your bloodline. You're gonna die alone. You're a loser. You're just coping, dude. You're coping." Um, the Inkwell forums, the Inkwell community, who I sympathize for. I empathize with them. I really feel bad for a lot of them. But they are so hostile towards men that are trying to enjoy this short time we have on Earth, with or without a woman. And if you tell them you're okay, they'll gaslight you. They'll say you're not really okay. You're coping, and you're a loser, and you failed. You're a failure. And then you got women absolutely despise men that don't need a woman to be happy. Absolutely despise them. They'll throw out, "Oh, they're secretly gay," for being so progressive and leaning liberal. Women do love to really shame men for potentially being closet homos. Like, if you're not with a woman, oh, he can be gay. He can be gay. Or they'll say he's a creep. He's weird. He's a loser. Just you get attacked from both sides. You're a single man past the average age of marriage, and it's so not right. It's just, that's all I could say is it's not right. It's a shame that men don't receive the same validation and support from their own side that women get from their side. And there's just like a who cares? Like, I'm sort of under the impression who cares? I don't tell women over 35 they're coping when they say they're okay and they travel and they got their cats. Because I know women, they don't have that stigma, and they have more friends, and they're more social. They have better support networks because they're trying to destroy the stigma of being single past a certain age. Where men really, like, everyone gets on your damn case. Everyone gaslights you into thinking that you are weird, you're an outcast, you're creepy, you're a loser, no one wants you, you're undesirable, you're genetically undesirable, you're disgusting, you smell, on and on and on, and it just never ends. Cope, and then from the men, oh, you're coping, dude, you're just coping, you're a loser, you're gonna die, you failed. And what's really gaining a lot of traction on the internet is this rad fem movement where women are just openly destroying men, destroy them, talk so much crap, and dehumanize men as if we're in some kind of war, like there's a gender war. Which, as men become sort of obsolete, women can just get a donor,
strange,
egg
though.
donor, surrogate, and all that stuff. They really want kids, and they don't need protection because they could just have a house or they could have an apartment. There's no wild animals that are going to kill them or a warring tribe. Things are going to have to get bad if women ever are going to need men again, and they really, really aren't afraid to tell men that we're becoming obsolete. And you got simps, male simps, that tell men to know their role, shut their mouth. You got the inkwells, gaslighting men. You can't be happy without a woman. Just end it. It's over. You can't do it. It's impossible to be happy without a woman in your life. And that's where it just leaves us single men. Just, hey, we're just here. We're going to exist. We're going to make the best out of this life. And people really hate you for that, for not needing much. They hate for not needing much. That's it for me, guys. Good night. What is going on, everybody? It's Random Hero Gaming, back at it again with another Modern Warfare 2 commentary. This time, I wanted to talk about my employment, my self-employment, because it's seemingly, and justifiably so, that Gen Z, especially men, are absolutely exhausted and tired of office culture, of corporate America, of working for a Fortune 500 company. And can you really blame them when they are policed by HR departments full of people that don't understand them, that don't want them to be themselves, people that resent men and masculinity and all that it stands for, and these people decide whether you're going to be able to feed your family next week or not. And being at the whims of these miserable, mostly women, is counterintuitive to a good, healthy, kind of well-adjusted lifestyle in the modern age. And I decided to be self-employed. I'm 29 years old, and at the risk, I guess, of somehow getting doxxed or something, basically what I do is essentially I buy things, I sort of refurnish, clean, restore, and add value to things, and then resell it on online marketplaces, mostly eBay. And I get value from it, and I do it at scale. And luckily, at my mom's house, there's an extra room that I've been able to use for storage and working and using my computer and all these things. So, been self-employed. I did go to college. I got a degree in finance. And I mean, people are going to say, oh, but, you've never worked a real job, so how would you know if you'd like it or not? I mean, school is essentially preparing you for a real job. It's very structured. You're overwatched by a boss that could ruin your life at any second if you act out, if you go against the grain, if you just, I don't know, if you implement your own actual opinions and your own self into your objectives, your work, whatever you want to call it, they can ruin your life. So it's when I was in school, whenever we had to do group projects, I would literally do the group projects by myself. I don't care how much the work was, and I would get in trouble for it occasionally, but I would just say, all right, partner up, everyone, and I was just never the person that had friends in the class, was popular. Most people kind of didn't even know I was in the class. I remember in, I think, 10th grade, just a moment I remember that's like seared into my head, that is tattooed into my brain, is one time, because I would, wear a hoodie, sit in the back, just coast, not talk, and the teacher called on me one time to, I think, read, and this girl, really popular, attractive girl, just goes, "Oh, X is in our class," and everyone just erupted laughing. And that was horrible. So I just knew group work wasn't my thing, and I was able to work on my own. And at first, a couple years after college, I was kind of lost, didn't know what to do. Pandemic hit, and finished my degree, a whole year not knowing what to do with myself, what to do with my life.
A tiny drop
Tried
of
to make
super
a little
glue
bit of
on it.
money trading. It went really well. I enjoyed it. It wasn't extremely fulfilling. Started my business. The first year was just barely breaking even, but I learned a ton of lessons along the way. And you want to say, college was a waste. I shouldn't have gone to college. Well, I went to college, and I knew after college I didn't want to work with other people. I knew I wanted to work for myself. And that was a huge lesson. And that's why it wasn't a waste. You might think it was. You might think I didn't use the degree, whatever. I learned what I didn't like, and I am where I am now, and I'll get to where I am now. So, first year, I didn't make a dime, just barely scraped by, broke even. Learned a lot. Next year, profitable about $10,000. Still not a lot. Still barely nothing. And all the while I'm living at home, living with my mom. I get it. It's for some people it's hard to do. Other people don't care. I didn't care. I didn't care what my friends were doing. I didn't care what other people were doing. I didn't care what other people said. I was saving money and I was learning a lot. I really was. I was taking a lot of losses, but I was learning. Second year, doubled that amount, how much I made. Third year, now I'm closer to six figures, working for myself. Learned a lot. And it doesn't come without downsides. You think, oh, you're working a lot, you escape the matrix, you escape the 9 to 5 life. But solitude is not for everyone. Days of, not working with anyone or calling. I have people I could call, friends. I've got Discord. I've got unemployed friends. I've got friends that are still in college that I could talk to. I've got family I could talk to. That's important. But it's not for everyone. Being very solid. Being in solitude and working on your own. And then there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube in this realm, that sell courses like, oh, work for yourself, it's the greatest thing ever, it's this, shame the nine. It's like, no, I'm not shaming the 9 to 5 life. For a lot of people, that is the way to go. For a lot of people, they need that structure, they thrive in that setting, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't look at what I do as better than a 9 to 5. There are a lot of downsides. There's no office culture, whether that's a good thing or not, whether you want to consider that a positive or negative. Some people need the constant socialization, and I don't get that. I don't. I have friends. I have people I see maybe once a week or so. Some people I call if it's really bad, but mostly leave, YouTube or live streams on. It helps. But I've learned so much, and I've been continuing it, and just seeing progress every year with this business and how much I've learned has been extremely fulfilling to me. And it's again, it's not for everyone. You know, yeah, I could not work when I don't want to. I could go on vacation when I want to, whatever. But every day I'd say I always find myself working past 5. You know, like typical 9 to 5. I find myself working past 5. I find myself working on the weekends, and it is all on me. And you gotta be able to motivate yourself. You can't fall into a slump. I do a lot. I fall into slumps. I get depressed, but I work my way out of it, and I work in spite of it, and I always am trying to learn. And one of the hardest things also of being self-employed is you're gonna get a lot of people that turn their head, that scratch their head when you tell them what you do. They're gonna think you're bluffing. They're gonna never take you seriously. And it's like, yeah, don't care what other people say, bro. Don't care what other people think. Just like, don't compare yourself. Oh yeah, it's not that easy. You're gonna compare yourself. It sucks when people think, oh, so basically you do nothing, because that happened. I was with my buddy at a hockey game, and he ran into someone he worked with, and they were close at work, and I was talking to her. She was a bit older, like 40 something. She goes, oh, what do you do? I'm just like, oh, I'm self-employed. She's like, oh, so you do nothing. You're gonna get that, and it sucks, and it hurts. You want to be taken seriously. And yes, it's not as attractive to women when you say you're self-employed, when you tell them what you do, and you sell things, and you do it online, you know, you work from home. Like, it's not very attractive to women. There are downsides to that. I mean, I personally don't care. I'm kind of just over that thing, at least for now in my life. So I don't care. I'm learning. I'm working on my own. It's empowering. There are upsides, there are downsides, but it's not, one isn't better than the other in particular. And I just want to say that because you got schmucks on here that will tell you you need to escape the 9 to 5. You need to take my courses. You need to be better than someone that works a 9 to 5. They're boring. They're normal. They're idiots. They're average. You're better than them. Take my course. Escape the matrix. Like, I'm not saying that. That's silly. All I'm saying is you need to find what works for you and what doesn't. And if what works for you is a 9 to 5, that's awesome. That's great. Don't be ashamed of that. But if you want to go the self-employment route, it takes time. You need to learn. You need to motivate yourself. You need to be your own driving force. It's not for everyone. Solitude is not for everyone. Just want to get this out there. Appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I'm out.
My PC gaming life and YouTube life almost 16 years ago when I was barely 13 years old in the game Battlefield 2142. Previous to this, I had played countless MCC.
Hold on, boss. How you doing?
You need anything else?
I don't need this.
Alright, you got everything you need.
Yeah.
If you look at it right,
Yeah.
you can see that it's like missing. You feel me right there? You see it?
Yeah, I got you. All right.
Just call me whenever you ready.
All right, bet. All right. All right. Just wanted you to see everything. Everything good for you?
You a decent boy.
Yes, sir.
I could have used you like 3 months ago.
Oh, for real?
I was smoking out Sound like how you said.
Yeah, I got you. Alright. Alright, bet. Alright.
What's going on? They call me Skeeter, the Peter Eater. I'm not worried about you.
PS2 and GameCube
What it
single-player
do?
titles, but 2142
I'm out here
was
with
my
my
first
crew.
proper foray into the multiplayer shooter experience. So you press, I use the word foray. And hot damn, when I got my greasy, prepubescent hands on this game, I hardcore no-lifed it all the way up until Bad Company 2 came out. To this day, no Battlefield title, or really any multiplayer game, has quite been able to fill the hole that Battlefield 2142 left behind, and trust me, I've tried. And while some will of course claim that the nostalgia goggles have clouded my judgment, I have realised through the making of this video that my love for 2142 is not just a longing for a childhood lost, but a fair and reasoned yearning for the lost innovation this game introduced into the world that was never seen again. Oh. So join me as I explore the incredible features and unrivaled game design of an innovative Battlefield now lost, in this love letter to my favourite game that will likely never exist again.
What's going on? We want to welcome everybody to Gamecaster's Battlefield 2142 Invitational presented by Gameplay HD. If you're a channel surfer, cool your jets. Set down the remote because, Rich, what our audience is about to see, no one has ever laid eyes on. Oh my God. Oh. Wow.
Instant.
Battlefield 2142 was released in 2006 by DICE and published by Electronic Arts. The game, unlike any Battlefield before it, or after it really, is known for its unique futuristic setting and the bold innovations that this entailed. While earlier titles in the series, such as Battlefield 1942, focused on historical warfare, and Battlefield 2 explored modern-day combat, Battlefield 2142 pushed into the future, introducing a wide array of groundbreaking features that set it apart from the rest. All those games, by the way, are made on the Refractor engine. That was the original engine that was used in 1942. I will now be using my narration voice. Battlefield
Just don't play with
2142
me, sweetie,
depicts a
and communicate.
bleak future war about a fight for resources. In the year 2106, a new ice age displaces millions globally, with Russia and Japan hit hardest. Struggling to secure resources, the Pan-Asian Coalition, PAC, grew increasingly desperate. Meanwhile, the European Union, supported by resource-rich North Africa through its alliance with the Union of African States, managed to endure. In 2139, the PAC launched a full-scale invasion of Europe and North Africa, igniting the 22nd century's Cold War. A brutal fight for the planet's last habitable land and resources. Remember that this game came out in the early 2000s. At the time, scientists in real life were beginning to link climate change to an increase in extreme weather events, and you could see the inspiration in the game. That's my flat right there. 2,000 a month minimum, spacious, open plan freezer. Something I really love about Battlefield 2142 is its commitment to the lore and the beautiful way in which this is expressed through the maps. The game doesn't have a single-player campaign, so the only way to experience this twisted future is through the level design and a few short accompanying paragraphs in the loading screen. Whether
you're traversing the desolate plains of an overheated Highway Tampa or the snowy remains of the Bridge of Ramagan, you'll certainly feel the majesty of a prosperous future crushed within the firm grip of nature's hand. This kind of storytelling has felt somewhat vacant in more modern multiplayer shooter releases. Battlefield 2042, for example, describes a world gripped in the aftermath of a Kessler syndrome event, causing 70% of the world's satellites to fall from space and a total blackout to engulf Earth, which sounds pretty cool. And yet, the only reason I even know about this Kessler syndrome event thing is because I found it on the wiki. You would literally never know from playing the actual game. By the way, for this video I had to reinstall Battlefield 2042 just to get this footage, and if that sacrifice isn't worth a subscription, I really don't know what is. So much lens flare on my fucking screen, man. The point is, 2142 knew what it was, and it expressed it really well. Now, let's talk about the reason you clicked on this video. Titan Mode. Very few Battlefield titles or popular shooters in general, especially in modern times, are defined by their game modes. This is because every shooter now is either an extraction shooter, a competitive search and destroy, or some variation of conquest. The Titan mode in 2142 was single-handedly the best part of the entire game, and a huge missing piece in any future multiplayer release that I've never seen again, and really wish would come back. Absolutely textbook. The Titan is a flying fortress, initially created by the PAC to move displaced civilian populations over hazardous terrain. They were later repurposed for war, sporting 4 ground attack cannons and 2 fast-firing anti-air guns, as well as a hangar bay fit to carry an attack jet and a transport vehicle, combined with drop pods to rapidly and safely deploy troops, shielded behind heavy armor and an outer energy shield. These vehicles became
What's the
high-value
word,
target
Billy?
number 1 on any battlefield.
Silly Billy.
Titan mode tasks players with destroying the opposing team's Titan while defending their own. Anti-Titan missile silos are located at strategic locations on the ground. Capturing these allows teams to fire automated missiles towards the enemy Titan, initially taking down the shields and then damaging the main hull directly. Once the shields are down, players can either continue firing missiles to destroy the hull completely or board the Titan using assault pods, transports or spawn points. Inside, they must destroy 4 reactor consoles to access the main reactor and detonate it. Escaping within 30 seconds before the Titan is destroyed, or not escaping, as is often the case. Oh, that's me! Titans can actually be moved across the battlefield via input from the team's commander and perform a defensive, offensive, and tactical role of great importance to the outcome of the round. If you can't already tell, Titan mode is sensational. It uses the full breadth of 2142's large maps, exploits the multi-capability of many of 2142's unique vehicles, and requires teamwork at every stage of gameplay to complete various objectives. Unlike Conquest or Rush, standard Battlefield game modes you see across future titles, Titan mode has a variety of different ways of winning the game that appeal to different players and playstyles. God, I'm the best. Capturing missile silos is similar to Conquest and is required in the early game to access the enemy Titan. The more silos you have and maintain, the faster the enemy Titan shield is going to go down. From here, you could opt to continue to win the ground war and chip away at their hull, something Conquest enjoyers will happily do, but you could also board the Titan, turning the game into essentially an infantry-only rush mode where you have to destroy 2 initial consoles inside the Titan, which open up the next 2 consoles, which open up a final core. Winning a battle inside the Titan is very much a team effort. Getting to the Titan requires air or ground transport. You can't just walk there by yourself. Breaching these tight corridors is grenade-spam hell, and also the enemy can spawn here, so your respawn points better be close and well maintained. Also in this game, you can only spawn on the squad leader, so don't think you'll just be respawning easily on whoever you want that happens to be on the Titan. Because of the interplay between the ground conquest mode and the Titan attack rush style mode in one playstyle, you might find yourself flying jets keeping the skies clear of possible Titan attacking transports. In another playstyle, you're on the ground in a tank dominating the ground war. Or maybe you're an infantry player in an APC desperately fighting your way to the enemy Titan's location to pod up. And no, that's not some vaping thing. You shoot up with the Titan. No, that's a drug thing. You know what I'm saying. The Titan can also be moved by the commander. Maybe you put it in the middle of the map to have an easier time capturing and holding ground points. Maybe you put it in the corner to make it harder for attackers to jump on. Also, just because the enemy Titan shield goes down first doesn't mean you've automatically won. Once your shields are down, a strong infantry Titan assault can beat you faster than your ground
close ever again. I cannot stress to you how sad I am that this innovation has been lost. But Time Mode is nothing without the unique and innovative 2142 vehicles that accompany it. Unbelievably clean. The drop pod is a staple of Battlefield 2142 and is equipped to a number of vehicles determined from basic transport infantry fighting vessels to essential Titan assault technology. The BTR-20 Yak or UD-12 Shepherd armored air
They
transport
grease
performing
it.
the role of being effective infantry
Grease
fighting
it.
vehicles, mobile team-wide spawn points, and Titan assault vehicles players can drop pod from to attack the Titan. The BTR-20 Romanov and AMV-2 Groundhog APCs perform a similar function on the ground. These vehicles are also fitted with an EMP grenade capable of temporarily disabling any vehicle hit, which you definitely don't use to troll your own team. How you use and manage these vehicles forms the...
Pascal, it's rough, nice to meet you. Kind of bringing it. I'm looking for the finest cigar.
The finest cigar.
I can get to there.
Finest cigar is very subjective, but probably the Trinidad is really the finest, the limited edition Trinidad. You say finest? Yeah, it's pretty fine.
Let's have a look.
What does your friend like though? Do you know a brand that he likes?
Oh, not really, no. I just know that he's smoking that very often.
It's probably the finest. It's a Cuban cigar.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, one of those, £200.
Why don't you go anything more expensive?
I have stuff that's more expensive, but I wouldn't say smokable or very fine.
Yeah.
They're because they're old, very old. And the most expensive?
Yes.
I'm sure the most expensive. Wait here, I'll do it. This one here is from 1930. That's the most expensive one we're having shipped for sale. And that's £10 a pound. And these are, 80 years old, right? 90 years old. It's past its peak. It's more of it.
So we're talking about the most historic one. That's the finest one. Can I get anything?
In between there, Kahiba Beiki. So you've got three sizes. Probably would suggest the 54, so I'll put Kahiba Beiki. And that would be your middle ground, and that would be around £500 stick.
Now, is there any information you could give me about it again, so I can pass it on to her?
Well, the boss was here. Maybe if you have to tell you a story about something about inside that cabinet was a letter. The letter says, I took a couple cigars to go to war with.
Pascal, it's rough, nice to meet you. Kind of bringing it. I'm looking for the finest cigar.
The finest cigar.
I can get to there.
Finest cigar is very subjective, but probably the Trinidad is really the finest, the limited edition Trinidad. You say finest? Yeah, it's pretty fine.
Let's have a look.
What does your friend like though? Do you know a brand that he likes?
Oh, not really, no. I just know that he's smoking that very often.
It's probably the finest. It's a Cuban cigar.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, one of those, £200.
Why don't you go anything more expensive?
I have stuff that's more expensive, but I wouldn't say smokable or very fine.
Yeah.
They're because they're old, very old. And the most expensive?
Yes.
I'm sure the most expensive. Wait here, I'll do it. This one here is from 1930. That's the most expensive one we're having shipped for sale. And that's £10 a pound. And these are, 80 years old, right? 90 years old. It's past its peak. It's more of it.
So we're talking about the most historic one. That's the finest one. Can I get anything?
In between there, Kahiba Beiki. So you've got three sizes. Probably would suggest the 54, so I'll put Kahiba Beiki. And that would be your middle ground, and that would be around £500 stick.
Now, is there any information you could give me about it again, so I can pass it on to her?
Well, the boss was here. Maybe if you have to tell you a story about something about inside that cabinet was a letter. The letter says, I took a couple cigars to go to war with.
Pascal, it's rough, nice to meet you. Kind of bringing it. I'm looking for the finest cigar.
The finest cigar.
I can get to there.
Finest cigar is very subjective, but probably in there.
32 also came with advanced hover technology, with the PAC getting the mighty Type 32 Nakamoto tank, which couldn't traverse the turret horizontally, but could spin like a Beyblade. The EU had a more traditional tank, which I felt was a pretty brave choice considering very few mainstream games commit to asymmetrical vehicle combat. Would have meant that there was actually unique. It's been 12 years since the original Xbox Live shut down for good, and yet 12 years later, I just made a brand new Xbox Live account with my original childhood Xbox for free, because Xbox Live is back, and it's thanks to some geniuses that managed to get the whole system up and running again for everyone to play. And I want to show you how it all works, how you can go make an Xbox Live account right now, some of the best running games, and even how to get this running on an emulator, so you can try this on your PC or even on a Steam Deck.
There's a new player on the market though, Microsoft's Xbox.
They can hear me, and I can hear them.
Online gaming is going to be the big next step. You can play anybody, anywhere, anytime.
It's the hottest thing for the holidays, Xbox Live.
Okay, so I could bet that there's a lot of people watching this that grew up like me with the original Xbox, but were too young to ever get a chance to experience playing online on the original Xbox Live, since it was sadly discontinued in 2010. And if you were like me, you always wondered what would it be like to be able to play the game that you grew up with online, but couldn't, especially since it was like, what, $50 a year? And dude, good luck getting your parents to agree to that. Well, great news, there's a new service that was made by the super talented team called Insignia, which is just straight up a drop-in Xbox Live replacement for all Xboxes, stock and modded. It works exactly the same way that the original Xbox Live did, with most of the features already working out of the box. So you can play all your favorite games online, exactly like it's 2002, with just, less Chico jeans and frosted tips. I want this video to be the one guide for anyone that sees this and goes, oh, I want to try that, but hasn't touched their Xbox in over 10 years or something. A lot of tech has changed since then, so I want to run down all the little things that you might need so you can go play Tony Hawk's Underground or Star Wars Battlefront 2 online and hopefully get you up and running by tonight. And I even want to show you how you can set this up on an emulator on your PC, even cooler on your Steam Deck, so you can still play with your friends even if you're on original console. So let me show you how this all works. I think you'll be very impressed with all the work that's been done on this CD. Alright, I'm going to show you a few things to make this process a little easier since it's been like a good 20 years since Xbox came out, and tech has kind of changed a little bit since then. Okay, first off, it's been a while since you used your Xbox. You'll probably notice they still use these types of cables. We don't really use these anymore, and it's going to be even harder to find a monitor or a TV that even uses these cables nowadays. Now, I've seen these upscalers being suggested a lot when it comes to plugging old consoles for your modern TVs, and let me tell you, these things suck. They're not any more convenient, and the picture quality is really, really bad. You'll see for yourself in a moment. So what I would suggest instead is one of these. This is an adapter for Pound that just converts your port to HDMI. That's all it does, and it looks pretty good too. There are other mods that people can make where you can completely solder in a native HDMI port to get the true resolution of the console and all that, but most people won't care about that and just want an easy, good-looking way to get their Xbox hooked up. And this is perfect for that. I'll leave a link to this in the description. Next is the controller situation. I still have my original controller that I used when I was a kid, but it is really hard to find a decent condition original Xbox controller that still works nowadays. Plus, there's some people that might not be used to playing with the original controller, especially the giant OG Duke controller. Look at it. It's like someone put joysticks on a boomerang. But I found a solution for that too. This is a Wingman Converter XB2, which lets you pair whatever controller you want, including the new Xbox Series controllers, and hook it up to your original Xbox, wirelessly too. You just plug it in, pair your controller, and off you go, with full vibration support and everything. The black and white buttons from the original Xbox controller are assigned to the bumpers on the new controller, so you don't lose out on any functionality either. Brook makes some really cool devices like this. Again, the link is going to be in the description if you want to get one of these. Lastly, let's talk about actually connecting to the internet. So, in case you forgot, Xbox has no Wi-Fi connectivity. It's strictly only wired Ethernet. Now, Microsoft did release a Wi-Fi adapter a long time ago, but it is horribly outdated. Don't expect the thing to work with any router from the last 10 years. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have your router close enough to your Xbox, it's pretty simple. Just hook up an extra Ethernet cable from your Xbox to your router, and you're done. But if you have a room like downstairs or across your house or something, what I would recommend is picking up a power line adapter. These can be had for pretty cheap. Basically, the way that it works is that it comes in a 2-pack. You plug them into a wall outlet. One goes to the router, goes to the Xbox. The power line adapter uses your house's electrical circuit to route the internet connection from your room, and bam, easy wired internet. Also, you can use this to have a wired connection to your PC or your PS5 or something once you're done. I'll leave the one that I use in the description. Alright, you got your setup mostly modernized. This is all completely optional, by the way. You don't need any of this, but it sure makes using your Xbox way easier. Now, let's get on to installing the Signia. Okay, first, let's get a few things clear. Playing online can be done both with a completely stock and modded consoles. So you can literally just boot up your 20-year-old Xbox, run a quick exploit, and start playing online. But, like many other creators, I would really recommend modding your Xbox if you have some extra time, simply just because it's really easy to do so, there's zero drawbacks, and it gives you a bunch of features that you find useful. Like being able to just scroll your backup games on your hard drive, being able to FTP to your Xbox wirelessly, using custom themes, or if you want to go a more old school route, a modern Xbox will let you do that too. Most people don't remember the old school days of like DVDs and a Sharpie. But even if you don't care about any of those things, I would still recommend you look into modding it simply because, well, these consoles are starting to get pretty old by now, which means at this point, your hard drive's probably going to die any day now. Your disk reader's probably going to die any day now. Your clock capacitor is probably already leaking. With a modded Xbox, at the very least, you'll have the ability to easily swap out these parts before something happens, so your Xbox doesn't just die a sad brick. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube, but let me know in the comments if you want to see my personal take on a video about this. In case you're wondering how this is going to work, the simple explanation here is that there are a handful of Xbox games out there that have save game exploits that we can use to run any code that we want. This is how the Insignia app works. You only have to run it once, and you're good to go. So let me show you how this works. Okay, first step, you gotta register. So go to the link in the description, or just go to insignia.live, type in your email, and like in a few days or so, you'll get your invite code in your email. Awesome, let's set this aside for now. Alright, so if your Xbox is stock, we're gonna need a few things. First thing is an exploitable game. Now there's a couple of these games that work. The most common and popular ones are gonna be Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, 007 Agent Under Fire, great game by the way, and Mecha Soul. These two are the most preferred because any version of these games will work. The original Black Seal, Best of, Platinum Hits, any version will work, while these games over here have to be the original Black Label version. Well, some versions of 007 work. It's complicated. You gotta check the numbers on the disc and make sure that you see what I mean? Just for simplicity's sake, just stick to these two if you can. You can find them for a very reasonable price on eBay. Don't buy them on Amazon. For some reason, they're incredibly expensive there. I'll also have a link in the description to check and see if you have a copy that'll work. So I'm going to use my personal copy of Splinter Cell. In spite of everything, I've actually taken really good care of this game. Next, we're going to need an Xbox to USB adapter. This is so we can transfer over the modded save from a flash drive over to the Xbox. These are really cheap. You can get these for like $8. I'll link the one that I use in the description. And lastly, you're going to need a flash drive. Fortunately, this one is going to be a little bit more tricky because you can't just use any flash drive lying around. Think about it. In 2001, most flash drives are pretty small. Like a 1 gigabyte costs like $200. So to an Xbox, seeing a 32 or even 16 gigabyte flash drive is like black magic and won't recognize it. So general consensus is to stick to as small a flash drive as possible, preferably under 4 gigs. I'm using this very old 2 gigabyte flash drive that seems to work just fine. I'll link to the flash drive that should work in the description. To test that it works, just plug it to the Xbox with a USB adapter, and if you see a message saying the flash drive has been erased, you're good to go. If you plug it in and nothing happens, or you see an error, you're going to need a different flash drive. And that should be all you need to get started, other than a Windows machine. So first things first, let's grab the Insignia program. Link is going to be in the description. Click on Releases, then click on the corresponding game that you have. There's 007, there's Mecha Soul, that's NA, Metal Arms, SC is Splinter Cell, and TH4 is Tony Hawk's. I have SC and TSC, so I'm going to download that. Alright, cool. Let's go load this up on the flash drive. We're going to use an app called Explorer 360 to do this. The website is going to make you click on 2 links before you can download it, just a heads up. Okay, let's plug in our flash drive now. Once you got the Explorer 360 app open, click up here to load up your flash drive, and you should see it there. Now for your modded save, make sure you've extracted it, then click on it. Go to data, and you should see a bunch of numbers. Drag and drop that bunch of numbers folder into your flash drive. Alright, you're done. Now let's boot up our Xbox and start loading up the modded save. Plug back in the flash drive, and on your Xbox, go to Storage, and click on your flash drive. You should see the modded save here. Then hit copy, and transfer it over to your Xbox.
you want to see how to load it up for your game, pause right here and check. Since we're doing Splinter Cell though, it's super easy. We just hit start game, click on Linux, and hit checkpoints. Your Xbox should go black, and in a few seconds, the insignia tool should pop up. Awesome. Now just hit register Xbox, and you're done. Your Xbox is registered, and you can go play online. Let's put this away for now. Oh, by the way, if you have a modded system, you can skip pretty much all of this. Just download the default .xbe file from Insignia, FTP it over to your applications folder, and launch the app on your Xbox. It's super easy. Also, make sure you have the Xbox Dash installed so you can actually make an Xbox Live account. You should be able to get it from Optimize systems. Now, let's test to see if this works by going into your settings, network, and letting it check. If you see this, congrats! Your Xbox is back online. At a minimum, your Xbox hasn't seen this screen in at least 12 years. Isn't that crazy? Now it's just a matter of making an account. For the most part, it's exactly the same as making an account 20 years ago. You gotta do your terms, pick up your gamer tag, stuff like that. And yeah, I checked, and unfortunately, Dark Master has already been taken. There's gonna be like 3 people who get that joke.
Dark Master.
Now, when you get to this part where it says subscription code, go back to the email that you got from Insignia and type that in here. Don't share this with anyone because these codes can only be used once. It's very important no one sees this code. There's your $0 subscription. Now, when you get to payment information, literally all of this is just email stuff. Just don't enter any actual info in here. The only thing you gotta change is the credit card number, which is 4 and then 111111111 until it won't let you do anything. Billing email address has to be the same one you got your Insignia code sent to, otherwise you won't be able to log in. Once you're done with that, you have a few more screens, and you've officially signed up for Xbox Live. I'm telling you, seeing this screen made me so happy, especially considering up until now, not many people will be able to see this. And that's it. That's all the setup you need. Now your Xbox should be functioning exactly as it would have 20 years ago. Now, let's go play some games. I want to make it clear that the Insignia team makes compatibility for Xbox games on a game-by-game basis. Each title has a different system for matchmaking and online play, so they need to make sure that each game doesn't have any issues before declaring it playable. So that means sadly the heavy hitters like Halo 2 are still being worked on, but they are constantly rolling out support for new games all the time. As of this video, they have a total of 60 games that are supported for online play, so that should hold you up until then. And their eventual goal is to get every original Xbox game back online. I'm going to show you just a few that I managed to try over the last few days. Okay, I wanted to try some of the older Call of Duties, and while this was really fun, especially with a full lobby, it kind of hit me how much different COD was 20 years ago. Like, I was trying to figure out how to sprint in the games, it felt a little slow, only to find out, like, yeah, sprinting wasn't in this game yet. Either way, it was super fun, and if you've been playing COD for years now, your skills will transfer over, which is crazy. There's a bunch of different racing games already supported on Insignia, but the one I kept seeing consistently pop up with players was Toka Race Driver 2. The community tells me they really like this one because it's the racing sim that they grew up with. A lot of people like this one. I mean, look at this lobby. Some guy in my lobby was even telling me they had an entire racing wheel setup hooked up to the game. That's dedication. The cars felt a little slippery in my opinion, but it doesn't matter because this was super fun to play online regardless. Here's me running Counter-Strike. Since there's not a lot of people that have this one, what the community decides to do is just run player versus bot matches for now. But talking to the community, they would really love to have nights of actual full PvP matches. Battlefront 2 was so good on multiplayer, dude. This one I distinctly remember playing as a kid, but offline, and I'm like devastated I never got to experience this on Xbox Live. It's so good, especially with a decent lobby. This one is decently populated on a good night. Definitely give it a try.
Screen that's way too big at a super low resolution.
Unreal Championship was the console port for Unreal Tournament and was designed specifically for the Xbox. It was developed by Epic Games, which you probably heard of for making really popular games, such as, that's right, Gears of War 2, and literally nothing else. And this felt really, really good, even for a 20-year-old game. The felt responsive, the movement was great, and it was always easy to find a game. Definitely recommend this one. Okay, you get the idea. I don't want to overwhelm it with all the games that I played. But needless to say, there is a lot here that will keep me busy. Now, onto the things that currently work. Matchmaking. Leaderboards. Voice chat. Yeah, even the old school wonky Xbox Live voice chat works if you have a microphone. sounds like McDonald's drive-thru, but it's still somehow better than McDonald's.
That was a fucked up fan trap. How was that about?
Now, onto the things that don't work. Friend voice. This whole screen is kind of just decoration right now, but they assured me that they're working there. And this isn't really Insignia's fault, but some games, like Battlefront 2 for example, they need like a game update to properly connect to online. And since Xbox Live has been gone for like a while now, the only way to install these updates is if you have a modded Xbox. So add that to the reason why you should probably mod your Xbox. But other than that, this whole system works wonderful, and it's showing incredible potential. This generation definitely still holds up.
And day out is Far Cry 4. I'm shook.
Alright, lastly, I want to go into how you get this set up if you want to play online with an emulator on your PC or a Steam Deck or something, because, listen, as much as I love my original Xbox, it's going to be hard to justify keeping this 7-pound chunk from my desk forever. So you're going to want to set up the Xenu emulator. It's one of the more popular Xbox emulators as of when I'm writing this video, and it should work on Windows for regular PCs and Linux for Steam Decks. A quick disclaimer, while the online functionalities of Insignia will work pretty much exactly the same as a real Xbox, keep in mind that because this is emulation, there will be some games that
some jello.
Xbox emulation is still a work in progress. So you'll find that some games either won't boot or they might run weird with no sound.
How y'all feel about some old school jello? Ain't nobody watching. If y'all don't love me. You don't love me. What you need?
Go smoke a Tweedle deep. Okay, cool, baby. What do it be? I'ma keep it street with you. I'ma suck the meat. I ain't even say that.
I'm so perplexed at this point. I'm so sorry if you're a huge Far Cry fan, and I'm the one that has to tell you this, but these are all the same game. To this day, I still don't know what it is that makes Far Cry 4 so uniquely engaging to him. I asked him, and even he doesn't really know why he doesn't like any of the other games.
It's gift. Free game, man.
But what could I have possibly recommended that's close enough to Far Cry 4 to satiate whatever it is he's looking for that isn't a Far Cry game he'd already tried? At this point, I showed my hand, grilling him with questions like he was on trial, and I backed off a bit. But my curiosity has only grown since then. What do you think he does? Do you think he hits the credits, closes the game, and resets his save? I mean, it sounds crazy to me, but with a little more context, it wouldn't be strange at all. Speedrunners do this every single day. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of resets until the game is reduced to its fundamental meaning, broken down into absolutes that are quantifiable and measurable. Don't get twisted though. This isn't meant to show this example. Each piece is analyzed, evaluated, and refactored into a form that fits a single purpose: speed. The way that runners talk about the games they're playing solidifies this idea. They'll be playing an absolutely universally enjoyed game and trash talk it. Whether that's repetitive cutscenes they've been forced to sit through hundreds of times, or janky physics only seen when pushing the game to its limits. But they're not talking about the game we played. They're talking about the game in the form they've made out of its parts. What they've created is functionally a completely new game, at most times completely outside the intention of the original developers. And for better or worse, this innovation never stops. While most games pursue fun, speedruns pursue speed, completely ignoring the game's value as entertainment. This is why Super Mario 64 has 5 different categories to compete in, each completely their own unique game. 120 Star, the category where you collect each of the game's collectible stars, looks very much like the game us non-speedrunners are familiar with, outside of the big glitches, of course. As time has gone on and runners have found new tools to chop down the game, they eventually found a way to complete the whole game without ever collecting a single star. But this didn't prevent them from seeing what they had created along the way. 120 Star is a great showcase of how they've optimized every level of the game. 70 shows the minimum intended content and allows for creative routing. 16 features some of the most popular skips and tricks while still showcasing some level of optimization and movement, and the 1 and 0 categories show how little of the game you actually have to complete with our current knowledge of the game. These are 5 very different sculptures in the same game, made from the same parts that speedrunners have created over the almost 3
got this
While the miners themselves use their
down.
currencies to actually see their times, their people exclusively look for new ways to cut out sections or improve current routes. Some are purists who use tools to emulate inputs that aren't possible for humans just to see the theoretical limits, and some are hunters that track down any and all vulnerabilities that could be used to cut down on time. The speedrunning ecosystem may be a vast community
That
that
shit
causes
look
all
crazy.
sorts of gamers
I ain't
pain,
going
but
back.
this is where Robo hangs his hat. In his excitement explaining all of the things he enjoyed about Far Cry 4, he unfortunately never brought up his personal best time. In fact, when I asked him how long it took him for each playthrough, he gave me a rough estimate in line with how long to beat's time. Surely he's doing something to change a beat run. Maybe like a different route through the skill tree, or using a different weapon, or maybe he's imposing restrictions on himself. Do you think you could beat the original Final Fantasy without ever spending any gold? Well, if you're like me, the full scope of restrictions this imposes is unclear. YouTuber Sears shows the unique challenges this restriction
What we
creates
doing?
as you start the game.
Where my peoples at? Where my you
Peter's
peoples?
You have to
universe.
save
The
the game
Peter's
during the save
Cluterus.
progress. The original game features no free check-ins.
Bow,
This is
bow,
just the start
bow.
of your
Nigga
problems
better
level,
stop that
as your
or pop
entire
that.
party
Pull
is
up with the Glock
completely
fat nigga.
naked, not even a knife to theirs. This makes it almost impossible to limp your way through the first few levels, as even the most simple
DJ
maneuvers will
Ski.
shoot your party to
DJ
death.
Ski.
The route considered as a fine to make your way through the game with this restriction is impressive and clearly shows how much they understand the game. I won't spoil it for you, but I'll put a link to
DJ
the video in
Ski.
the description below.
I'ma put the bridge on this back. Bring the blick out. We gon' fight that.
No fighters! You're not allowed to use the most powerful class in the game. Well, not only is this an easily completable challenge,
Give it about
some
nothing, ain't.
levels aren't that interesting either.
You gonna make it
Requiring
rabbit?
just tedious amounts of grinding to
Thought I would
become
make it rabbit.
incredibly powerful. Okay, well then,
Never made it happen. I ain't had to drive. I ain't worked hard enough.
yeah, except that
I
the
was
game
doing drugs, getting farted it up.
is possible.
That's just what it is, man. I'm a shit, man.
All the
I can hit a leg, man. Suck it, yeah, yeah. People fucking with me, man. I'm the Eddie, man. Pull up with the bitty, man. Eat the titty, man.
Sears' restriction of not spending gold
Uh.
uses just barely it shows not only the overpowered clicking, but presents unique problems exclusive to only this challenge, and reveals a completely new way to experience a game so old it even predates you. Speaking of old RPGs, how would you feel being
I can
trapped
eat
in
the
one of
booty
the
like a
most
cheesecake.
expensive 120
Run up on me
levels?
wrong, we gon' see about it.
Something like this, apparently.
Where Chanel Porter at? I'm finna add your little father.
Well, look no further than Bjskee's guide to putting you in this exact scenario. Using a
I
Japanese
already
version of
tried,
the
huh?
crystal, they were able to craft the game state so uniquely stuck that your only two methods of escape were to trade with other
What these
crystal
home ass,
crystals
eh?
or farm a single berry bush every single
They
day
got
for
on for
240 days like it's an old Facebook game. Let me explain. If you'd like to see the specifics on the actual setup, I'll put a link to Bjskee's video in the description. But once it's done, you are stuck here, right in front of the Elite Four, with nothing but a level 3 Caterpie and not a dollar to your name. Normally, you could use or teach a Pokemon to learn Fly, which lets you travel to new
I'ma
lands and
pull up with that
locations.
blicky
This
blick.
setup
I'ma
is
pull up with that
used
blicky
by
blick.
Bjskee, the
I'ma
same
pull
people
up
who
with that blicky
provide
the
every
blick.
vehicle to catch something that can learn Fly.
Preset. What
Going
that
through
mean?
the Elite Four is impossible. Believe it or not, most of the Elite Four's Pokemon are kind of a bad matchup for your Caterpie. It's not his fault. So your only way out is back through Victory Road. Unfortunately, every single tile in this cave can trigger a random encounter, and each one of them defeats our level 3 Caterpie,
Yes.
sending us right back to the entrance of the Elite
Okay.
Four. So, guess that's it. Well, fortunately for us, you can save each and every step of the cave, and simply load the save if you take a step and get an encounter. So after the mind-numbing
That's not
task of
different.
going through the cave and saving
I
every
really
single
wanna
step,
play.
we're out, free to wander wherever we'd like. Well, almost. We're surrounded by lakes, and Caterpie has always had a fear of deep bodies of water, so he can't learn Surf to cross it. To top things off, all the wild Pokemon and trainers here
How you
also
do
feel
that?
unfavorable, so there's no way to
How
gain
you do
experience
that?
or money
I'ma
for
come
gold.
up in the thing.
However,
I'ma be the
there
blue
is a
bag.
single ray of hope, a solitary
Why you do
light
that? Why
of
you do
hope
that?
drops
Why you
one
do that? Why you
raspberry
do that?
every 24 hours. Real life hours. Fortunately for us, we can sell these
Watch
for
Snipey.
legal tender all the way So that'd take us about 40 days of farming to race Fairy Bush. The problem is the Elite Four shop doesn't sell berries. It
Snipies,
sells
huh?
Pochaballs, which are a staggering 1,200 yen. Up in the US, I have to pick berries to the promised 240
So
days.
how come
If
when
you're
it
still
says
2 years
any,
over all the other ways that you're completing the stuff there, it's a bit much. But there's a lot of ways to soft lock yourself, especially when they're Pokemon games. But Castro's soft lock legion series already include the smallest escape hatch only visible to others that share their understanding of the game. Whether that's stranding you in a town with a Pokemon that will, in hours of fighting, eventually evolve into something that can fly, or leaving you with a legendary Pokemon that can only
see what
explode,
they got with the
making this
snips.
level 5 Starling virtually impossible to defeat. Each soft block is its own unique slice of barely escapable hell. Finding these soft block game states or creating challenging restrictions is an awesome way to breathe new life into these titles, but there's no way that's what our guy is doing in Far Cry 4. My man is too employed to be doing all that. It's too bad he's on console. The age-old method of returning to games on PC is mods. Of course, there's all the mods for somewhat modern games like the Bethesda titles and anything that has you placing blocks. But what about even older
That's
titles?
on gang.
One of my favorite retro game mods that you might have heard of is
Yeah, gang bang.
These mods generally
I was high when I came back.
but randomly scramble the location of items and unlocks each time you start them up. In The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, this chest only contains the Kokiri sword, but now contains something else, instantly creating a pretty complicated scenario where you'll have to find strange ways to defeat enemies. This initially didn't strike me as super interesting. I figured most of them would just have you wandering around until you found some of the more powerful rocks in the game and then just clearing early game bosses with ease. But to my surprise, more times than not, players will
No. Gang. Hey, gang.
scour
Oh, I be outside with my gang.
even
Where these fuck niggas at?
random route
Where these fuck niggas? Hold on, no. Hold on.
randomizer that combines multiple games into a
What
single
do you
giant
do
game,
that?
which is pretty hard to explain. Let's go back to that chest with the Kokiri sword from earlier. It no longer contains an item from the Ocarina of Time. It actually contains an item from Mega Man 2. Defeating a robot master in Mega Man 2 might
Let me
not
find out where you at now.
but instead a new unlock for Ocarina of Time. Before you ask, no, I didn't first. And you can pick much more than just 2 games to mix together at once. The games that aren't all those sophisticated still taste fun everything from Dark Souls 3
I didn't
to
mean to come in.
Cyberpunk to Doom 1993, games start to feel like you've grabbed multiple jigsaw puzzles and mixed all the pieces together. But you're not even granted the luxury of starting with corner pieces. You're just handed a bag
I got to get me one.
piece out of the bag that's completely useless
I
without
just need one.
connections in a completely different game. The whole concept is so wildly outside the development depending on the locations of the items that they're replacing, you can unlock most of one game's power-ups by just playing one of the other games, sweeping early game bosses with items you were never meant to have at earlier parts of the game. The shape and structure of each of these games has changed so much it feels disingenuous to breathes life into old games, but rather separates and scatters their mechanics, allowing you to rearrange them in ways nobody else has ever seen. To me, this is a nightmare. Everything is so random and mismatched that it feels impossible to evaluate as a whole.
God damn!
Lost in these titles. With basically any game older than like 3 months.
What, son?
Popular retro games. Every chest open, every assembly line documented, every secret exposed. The contents of chests are equivalent in the areas you'll be able to access with specific upgrades or randomized. Why would you? But Archipelago may force you to experience this by locking metal in some chest you can't access and another you can't reach without the unlock. Archipelago doesn't introduce anything that isn't in any of the titles you choose to mash up. It does force you to play them in ways you probably never have, even if it isn't balanced in any way. Do I need to convince you that my neighbor in his 50s wasn't using an incredibly niche and complicated retro game randomizer that doesn't to spice up his 30th playthrough? From almost all eras about returning to something you've experienced with Same River Twice, a classic, is a book that's never finished saying what it has to say.
You good with that, huh?
The idea. Do I think that Far Cry 4 is an undiscovered, certifiable classic that warrants dedicating your entire gaming career to concepts? Probably not. But my neighbor is undeniably a gamer. One that just happens to spend like 15 hours a month playing the same offline single-player game over and over again. But is it really on the outer limits of gaming? Just as much as your uncle that buys the same
She did,
basketball
buddy.
game every year, and the world record holder of your favorite speedrun, and the Garrett player on League that has tens of thousand hours on just Garrett, but is still ranked iron, the more I look for ways to play games, the more dull my neighbor seems. Look at this guy. He's playing Winston on bananas. In good faith, it can't be like video this guy is Far Cry 4. Yet I can't. In a way, my neighbor is a man after my own heart, sticking purely to developer intentions, not straying from the path and appreciating the game as it is for what it was meant to be. But the range of efforts people go to create something new with existing parts is at times as creative as the base material itself. Whether that's laying bare
Bitch, nigga, I got to get me one.
just trimming some of the fat off the edges. These
All I
contributions each reflect
want
a
is
different
one.
interpretation of what makes games so great in the first place. I
I'm
used
gonna
to
come back.
wrongfully judge both the Far Cry 4 purists as well as the modders and remixers, frustrated that in the face of an endless stream of great games both from the past and present, they instead chose to focus on just a single piece. But now I can understand the comfort of knowing what's around every corner, and the creative outlet reshaping games can be. You're never getting this out of me again. We all know video games are about right and wrong, optimal and unoptimal. But just this once, I'll let my neighbor play Far Cry 4 until the day he dies.
Yeah, look at that. Hey.
How did Halo go from this to this? And how can a game made by one publisher pick have a larger player base than Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield combined? To answer these questions, we first need to understand why AAA studios have taken all of their desire to make fun games and
It just
just
means
up
I
and
care.
making
It's
games
okay.
like that. From what I found, it all started a few decades back when the video game industry really became mainstream with the release of Space Invaders. This game took the world by storm and really put video games on the map. See, companies were scrambling to get a piece of the growing video game industry. And that kicked everything off with Space Invaders' only developer, only hero, Bjskee. See, the thing is, back in the 70s and early 80s,
Yeah.
most games were made by developers. You couldn't pack much
That's a
into
bitch
one
ass
single
nigga, man.
online game cartridge after all. So games were simple in design, but because developers couldn't come up with graphics or music to attract new players, games developed at this time really had to be. And Hero understood this very well. Later, 20 years ago, Demon Hero even had this to say. Yes, I developed that was the standard.
American Blues. I was in this thing trying to do what I do. Look, look, juicy yams. And I'm with the crew. Look, look, juicy yams. And I'm with my crew. Look, look, juicy yams. Look, look, juicy yams.
Explain what he means by beginning. When I interpret these words to get back to understands the vision of the game. The video game industry wouldn't be the same without it. And I believe there's a huge reason why gaming is what it is today. Space Invaders captivated millions, causing people to fall in love with video games.
Just saw your bitch ass.
Over the next few years, technology for making games improved drastically. Games became more sophisticated, more the industry was maturing, and teams needed all sorts of talent and specialization to make games work. Game studios began expanding to have hardware integrated advanced games. As games began to progress, drastically slower growth produced great games. They only had 3 years was asked to create one more Halo game for Microsoft. And that game was Halo Reach. Halo Reach was a beautiful game. It was emotional. I look forward to this one. That said, I don't think Halo Reach was as good as Halo 4. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's a phenomenal game. I mean, it made 200 I believe Halo Reach wasn't made with as much passion as the previous Halos because the team had already told Halo story they wanted to tell. Players are pretty sad, but excited to see what they can do. That wasn't the previous era. Well, only a year had passed since Reach, and it was announced that Halo 4 would be coming out in 2012. At the time, most of us didn't think about Halo 4 being made by another company. We were just excited for it. And honestly, the hype clearly had a big impact on Halo 4. Players were eager to continue the story message. Something was different. The game was different. It just felt. I mean, it looked like Halo. It didn't feel like. Only after a few months in, players started dropping like flies, flocking back to Halo 3 and Reach. At the time, players thought that maybe it was just a ropes, got caught up in that Call of Duty hype. Halo 5, totally different. 343, Halo 5 rolls around, horrifying. People loved it, right? Nope. Overall campaign, overly aggressive, competitive. How can a company screw up
Drilling this shit,
their
bubbas.
predecessor's budget and pay the patent for? Just listen to the community this time and release a game that players will move on. Lonnie Ross said 343 will do better and promised there will be a co-op campaign this time. Next Halo will be different.
Well, that wasn't included in launch, and they said it was coming, and now inexplicably it has been canceled. Split Screen Co-op has been canceled, and Halo Infinite.
We have had to make the difficult decision not to ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on that and remove this list and some of the things that we're going to talk about in just a second.
How can a company with 6 years of development, $500 million, make a game with such little content, so many bugs, and garbage progression system, and just be okay to release it? How can 343 screw up this much? It just doesn't make sense. We've heard many answers from the community. 343 didn't earn it, 343 doesn't like Halo, 343 is trying to turn a party game into a competitive game. All valid answers. But you would think that if 343 really cared, they would figure out how to make a good Halo game. However, the main reason why 343 just can't make a good Halo game is something about the company is fundamentally broken. Let's compare Halo 3. So Bungie's entire company culture revolves around making the best game possible. This drove them to make Halo bigger and better each release.
Fudge me, man.
Revolves around money and how they can make more. Every Halo game they release has less content and it's gotten worse.
Even indie games don't have problems with creating a progression system, yet multiverses and split games just fucking blow Halo Infinite out of the water. You don't even have a progression system.
It's easy to see the difference in quality between these two studios, but it's not as easy to see why there's a difference. And this is why 343 doesn't have the capacity to make a good game. The leaders of the company don't put quality of the game first. They put money first. And this culture of money first thinking trickles down to everyone. Even if you are a 343 developer that just loves Halo, any reward as an employee only comes your work is furthering the goal of making more money, not the best game.
Yeah, and all the details are left. This time, is it good? Bad. Fantastic.
Now, I haven't answered a very important question. Why wouldn't 343 prioritize making the best game? Would that make you more money as a company? At first glance, this seems obvious.
Hello!
Kind of. If you make a great game and you have a marketing budget, sure, you're bound to sell copies. But large companies find ways to make more money. sit in 2022, having lost our favorite IP, this is the year of just massive events, especially for us. One of the biggest deal in every match might be MCC, and great games are being simultaneously made right in time. I'm extremely excited for the rise of modern competition from early access to high-end mass market. Yeah, why does it look like we hear about the same compelling play over and over, sometimes even slang?
Skeeter eater.
Wanted to make an early access game first and foremost to see what we could build in partnership with our community. So the plan was to do early access from the get-go. Supergiant wanted Hades to be
Slayer.
Ah.
Gained the lead. 5 minutes remaining. Game over.
Here's a newer dwarfed League Legends. Something happened. That game has to come out that $30 on release. Half the player base left immediately. Many mobile fans themselves shut it down for a low-priced game. Why keep playing a game when you can buy it so easily? Right. Fans from all over the world from Asia, Australia, Latin,
Little juicy hells. Ready? If a nigga don't stop, I'ma bust it. Just
Which game do you think players stuck with? But even when Heroes of North were free to play, it didn't seem like they truly understood the business model. Many heroes didn't have purchasable skins, not to mention
Oddball. Play ball. Ball taken. Ball taken. Gain the lead. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball taken. Gained the lead. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Play ball. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball reset. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Gain the lead. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Gain the lead. Ball taken. Ball dropped. Taken. Ball taken. taken. Ball dropped. Ball taken. Ball taken. 5 minutes remaining. Ball taken. Play ball. Ball taken. 25 points to win. Points to win. Play ball. Ball taken. Ball taken. Game over.
Scream over, gang. Love y'all boys. Gang.